The Knicks postgame show is presented by Tri-State Audi. Visit your Tri-State area Audi dealer today. The Knicks start the new year in style. Karl-Anthony Towns, 31 and 21. Second straight triple-double for Josh Hart. And the Knicks missing Jalen Brunson and Deuce McBride, both out because of injury. Knicks beat the Jazz 119-103. Great to have you with us, Bill Pito, along with Wally Szczerbiak. So, Wally, the news is all good. Knicks has now won 9 in a row.
Yep.
They're 19-4 in the last 23. They had great performances by all the starters, and that was important because of no Jalen Brunson out with a bad calf, and Deuce McBride tweaked his hammy in warm-ups. He also was unable to play.
Still got to 31 assists. Ball was moving. Ball was humming. The Utah Jazz, known for turnovers, a lot of careless turnovers that led to easy baskets for the Knicks in transition. OG Anunoby is dynamic when he gets out on the fast break, finishing, slashing, getting easy buckets. And I thought it was going to be key that Bridges played well and Towns played well. Both of them brought it tonight in the absence of their captain, Jalen Brunson.
Bridges had 27. You mentioned OG in terms of the transition. How about his play on defense? Lauri Markkanen, only 6 of 22, and he averages over 19 points a game for Utah. And how about Karl-Anthony Towns? Another game, Wally, in which he goes for over 30 points and over 20 rebounds in the same game.
Dominant, really dominant. Against a good defender, too, and Walker Kessler is a good rebounder. But Karl-Anthony Towns, I love the athleticism. At one point, he tried to post up Kessler a couple times, and he said, I'm better off taking him outside, putting the ball on the floor, knocking down some threes, softened him up with this big step-back triple. Take that one with you. This is my house. I own the Mecca, the world's most famous arena. He has been putting up numbers, dropping dimes, getting boards, carrying 2 7-footers with him with the and ones. Just an impressive performance, and what a luxury to have. No Jalen Brunson, an all-NBA performer last year, and you still have a guy like Karl-Anthony Towns who's been an all-star, been all-NBA. He can carry the offense at times. Multiple guys can carry the offense. This New York Knicks team is absolutely rolling. I'm excited to see them go up against some big-time competition coming up this month.
Cat now with 3 straight games with at least 30 points, and Josh Hart, another double-double. 2 straight triple-doubles.
Come on, Bill.
I didn't mean to short him. His second straight triple-double.
He was outstanding. And you can tell Tom Thibodeau really likes him running the team. You want to call him a point forward, you want to call him a Swiss Army knife, it doesn't matter. He does everything out there to help his team win, and he took this game with a little bit of motivation without his running mate and his roommate, Jalen Brunson, in the lineup. He did everything to help this team win this basketball game. You didn't know if he was going to get the points. He got to the points in the fourth quarter because he was too busy dropping dimes in the first couple quarters. But that nasty finish was really nice. When the Jazz cut it to 11, that finish moved it to 13, and the Jazz were done.
Josh Hart making a lot of people happy tonight with that triple-double. The second Knick in history to record back-to-back triple-doubles. Clyde, the only one to do it 3 straight times. Alan Hahn now joins us, helped call the game with Mike Breen tonight. Alan, I thought also really important to point out that the Knicks' 34 fast break points, their highest total in that category all season long.
Yeah, they got right after at the start of this game, and they wanted to get out and run against the Jazz team. They're not very good defensively, especially when you get them in transition. So the scouting report, where you could see it on display throughout that first half of everything they wanted to do, and they were getting into the paint. 70 points in the paint again in this game tonight. So the Knicks, the 3-ball doesn't always have to be the weapon every night. And the most important thing about this Knicks team is what they've been showing over this stretch is that they can beat you in different ways. They don't live and die by the 3-point shot. And I think that bodes well when we start getting into now the part of the schedule where they start playing better teams, because what are you going to take away? They can beat you in the paint. They can beat you in transition. They can beat you with the 3.
Alan, do you think it's a coincidence that this team is supplanting, breaking some records? Walt Clyde Frazier, Willis Reed, 2 guys with a 30 and 10 and a triple-double on the same night. There's some interesting stuff going on. Might we see a championship in the near future?
I mean, this is how it starts, right? When you have regular seasons like this and play the way they're playing. And I understand what everybody wants to talk about is like, okay, here's another team with a losing record. You're supposed to beat these teams. Wally, you always tell me never apologize apologize for winning, right? It's you play who's in front of you in the schedule, and what they have done is take advantage of this schedule. 16-4 now against 20 teams with a record of below 500. This is what you're supposed to do. And I also think what this does is it does start to build up that belief. A lot of winning starts to happen with a team, and in the different ways they do. This isn't lazy winning. This isn't just we had more talent than you. This team got after it against this Jazz team. And Wally, I'll give you credit. The key before the game for you was what? What was it? What was your key to this game?
Payback.
Revenge.
For the loss yes.
And did you notice in OG Anunoby at the start of this game, did Lauri Markkanen have any airspace whatsoever? He didn't let him breathe in that first half. That disrupted the Jazz offense, and you could just see this Knicks team wasn't going to forget that loss back in November.
Alan, I mentioned with Wally, Markkanen, he's an elite player. OG Anunoby held him to 6 for 22 from the floor, and the Knicks also forced 17 turnovers, and that led to 21 points for the Knicks on offense. So the defense with OG leading the way was spectacular tonight.
And then you can also credit the bench players who came in this game and the impact they had, both defensively and, of course, offense. I thought Precious Achiuwa gave you really good minutes in this game, and Tyler Kolek double-dipping. You know, some of us are used to working 2 jobs in a day. It's not that big of a deal. But for Tyler Kolek to play 40 minutes in the G League, come here and give you 12, and I thought he looked really comfortable running the offense when he was out there. Stat sheet, he didn't fill the stat sheet in this game. He did this morning. But it just shows you, again, there's more depth to this team than anybody wants to believe. And that goes to what you were just asking me before, Wally. When you look at performances like this and you see them night in and night out, you start to believe to yourself, how many other teams in the NBA are as deep as this, as good as this, and as versatile as this? That's why you start to believe they've got a chance to do something very special at the end of this season.
All right, Alan, have a nice trip at OKC Friday and at Chicago on Saturday. We'll talk to you soon, all right?
You got it, boys. Happy New Year.
To you, too. So the Knicks defense really has stepped it up here.
Yeah.
December, they went 12-2. They win now to start January. They have been suffocating the opposition on defense. What has changed, if anything, from how they were playing on defense in the early season?
I just think they're getting more on the same page. And, it takes a little bit of time in the film room with Tom Thibodeau to kind of get together. And 5 guys on a string, that's the old adage. You add the type of versatility and the type of long arms and athleticism that Anunoby and Bridges bring to the table. Josh Hart not afraid to D up and get in other guys' faces. And I know the Knicks, they were programmed tonight to look to get some steals, and when you get those steals, pass it up ahead and look to score quick. Without Jalen Brunson, it was going to be a little tougher. That was a nasty finish, by the way, by Precious Achiuwa. We all loved the big finish in Washington when he dunked on everyone, it seemed like, but that was just as nice. That dunk on the left hand, to be in stride and to just finish like that with ease, extreme athleticism all over the place by the Knicks. This is a young, hungry team that's getting after it on D.
Got to mention Achiuwa, key minutes off the bench tonight with 12 points. So the Knicks get help from everyone, and they keep on rolling. They win it 119-103. Tom Thibodeau's group now 24-10. We'll hear from the coach coming up.
The Knicks postgame show is presented by Audi. Visit your Tri-State Audi dealer today.
Welcome back. So the Knicks beat the Jazz by 16. The Knicks now 24-10. It's their best start since 96-97. Back now from the Corner 3 presented by Michelob Ultra Superior Light Beer. Up next for the Knicks, they're going to be at OKC, a showdown on Friday night. Got the pregame at 7:30, game at 8, and then on Saturday the Knicks are at Chicago. And after that, they only have 2 road games the rest of the entire month of January. Let's now listen into the postgame comments from Knicks coach Tom Thibodeau, presented by Chase.
Jalen, what happened there? When you said it was a game-time decision.
Yeah, just, has some soreness. We'll see where he is tomorrow.
So what happened with on Friday?
Same thing. So he had some tightness before the game when he was warming up. So I haven't talked to medical yet, and we'll see where he is tomorrow as well.
What do you think of the job that Payne did stepping in?
Great, because that was last minute. We didn't know that was going to happen until it was right before the game started. So credit to him for being ready. I thought our bench gave us really good minutes. I thought Tyler played well. I thought Landry played well. And then, the starters were terrific. They all stepped up. I thought Mikal was great. OG was terrific. key steals at the end of the game. And then Cat, just a monster game. And then, Josh, triple-double again, so it's just a good, hard-fought win, just find a way to win. And that's what the season is. Next guy get in there, get the job done.
I know we talked about Reggie a lot, but it felt like this defense on Markman really didn't allow
Yeah.
him to go at all.
Yeah, and that's a tough cover, and they do a good job. They're inverted pin downs with smalls, so there's a lot of reads that have to be made, and then it becomes there's a lot of delayed isolation. They're very good off the dribble as well, but I thought OG just was all over the place, disruptive, and I thought our ball pressure was good, and then the defensive activity got us into the open floor, got us some easy baskets, and that's key for us.
What do you think this kind of win says about your group? Because obviously you did it without Jalen, without Miles.
Yeah, and it's why it's a team, and that's why you work together, and everyone has to prioritize the team and make sacrifices. And over the course of a season, whether it's an injury, illness, foul trouble, you need everybody. And then when you're called upon, be ready. And so Tyler stepped in. I thought Precious, he did a great job. He was guarding big. He was guarding small. And OG's guarding everybody. Cat had a tough matchup at the end, and he's moving his feet, trying to keep guys in front, locking and trailing and stuff like that. So I think that as a team, if you prioritize winning and doing what's best for the group, that's what makes it enjoyable. You got to have everyone committed to each other, and when you do that, good things come from that.
What does it say about Kolek that he played all those minutes this morning?
Yeah, no, it's great. Yeah, great. Just he's a gym rat, so get in there, make plays. Gave us a good lift. He's young. He's getting better and better. Says a lot about him.
How did you sort of go through the process? I assume was he not going to play tonight probably if you had your regular rotation guy who played this morning?
Yeah, and it's something, and you weigh it all the time because you're trying to strike the balance of, and I love him. He's in the gym all the time, and so if he's not in the rotation, all the things that he's working on, you want him to have an opportunity to use them in a game too. So whenever, and logistically, the way it lays out with where the G League team practices in our building, playing White Plains, right? If we can get playing time for those guys, the guys who aren't in the rotation, particularly the young guys, it makes a lot of sense. So we always talk about this might be an opportunity for them to play, and we didn't know that Deuce was going to be out, and we thought Jalen was going to be game time. So if we had known that, he probably wouldn't have played. But that's the reality of what it is. But he just gets out there and he plays.
Obviously, you want to play like Jalen on the floor, but do you kind of feel like the team is more suitable to withstand that kind of loss, benefiting from Cat's gravity out there?
And that's why, Cam has, played a lot of different roles, and I think Tyler's a good young player, and there's great value in having Josh, because Josh can facilitate the offense as well, and then we can use Cat as a trigger man on a lot of stuff, and basically that's what we were trying to do at the end, is just put it into him and then get into a cutting game off the post, and so Cat's a terrific passer. When you cut and you're open, he's going to hit you. So, I think it was another high assist, 30 assist game. And when we do that and guys make plays for each other, we're hard to guard.
Thanks, man.
Yep.
All right, well, so really interesting. Tyler Kolek played for the G League Knicks. The thought wasn't they're going to need him in the game, but you have injuries to Deuce McBride and Jalen Brunson. So Kolek in the NBA game goes for 2 points and 4 assists. After today for Westchester, he goes for 36 points, 11 rebounds, hits 5 threes, and hits 2 key buckets in overtime in a Westchester win.
Confidence was high coming in. And when you're playing in front of 20,000 at the world's most famous arena, that's going to get your adrenaline going, especially if you're a youngster. He was plus 11 when he was out there on the floor, ran the pick and roll with Karl Anthony Towns perfectly. Look at these moves that he was putting on at Westchester. And then tonight, outstanding passing, just really knows the game. And without Jalen Brunson, they needed ball handling. They needed pure point guard smarts. And he brought that tonight. I thought he played outstanding basketball, was really good defensively. You can see his legs are fine. He's young, and he's hungry. He's hungry for minutes. He's hungry to get that opportunity. I think if you asked Tyler Kolek, he would do it again. He'd say, let me play in the morning, in the afternoon, whatever it is, and if you need me at night, I'll be ready to give you whatever you need. That's the type of kid he is. He's a gym rat. He loves to play the game of ball, and he combined for a total of 47 minutes on basketball floors today. So that's a good day of hoops.
All in a day's work for Tyler Kolek. Here he is now after the game.
It was good. I had a few hours in between, got on the Normatex. Just tried to do what I could to recover and just be ready to go.
Do you play this morning just thinking, yes, there's a chance I can play? You have to prepare yourself for that.
Yeah, it's more mental than anything. Obviously 2 guys go out with injury, so kind of got to step in and be ready to go no matter the circumstances. No matter who's out, just always got to be ready to go.
It was 40 minutes this morning?
Yeah, 40. Yep.
How comfortable have you gotten, though? Like, you looked very comfortable just running the offense and being out there on the floor. How comfortable do you feel out there?
Yeah, I feel like, playing in the G League has given me confidence, and, I know my spot's a little bit better because, when I'm getting minutes down there, getting to my different spots, working on different things, and then come up here just trying to emulate some of the same things, just help the team win.
When did you sort of find out you were going to play? Obviously, Deuce was supposed to start.
Yeah.
Jalen wasn't necessarily ruled out until before the game. When did this all kind of come together?
Yeah, I knew Jalen was out earlier this morning, right before the game. But then I thought Deuce was warming up. I thought he was starting. And then I seen Cam run out there for the starting lineup. So it's just kind of on a whim happened. So.
Are you ready for a showdown? Going to be a big one Friday. The Knicks at the OKC Thunder. Pre-game 7:30, game at 8. Knicks take a 9-game winning streak into the game after beating Utah tonight. Here's Alan Hahn after the game with campaign.
Cam, the depth of this team on display in this game today, wasn't it?
For sure. Everybody just stays ready. I feel like we got a pretty good bench, and everybody always working on their game, and when their time is called, everyone's ready.
What happens when you don't expect to start, and then right before you suddenly become the starter?
I don't know, man. This one thing about me, I'm always ready. So I think that helps me. So when something like that happens, I'm already going. It was a shock, but I was ready to go. I'm just glad we got the win.
Defensively, you guys seem to really turn it on in this game, and that really was the impact. Does that also show the different ways you can win, not just with the three, but not just with outscoring a team, but with defense as well?
Oh, for sure. I'm definitely on the defense wins games, defense wins championships kind of guy. And I feel like we did that tonight. That's what we had to do. I don't know if JB the leading scorer or not in between Cat, but one guy's down. We got to find a way to win games, and tonight I feel like it was on the defensive end.
When did you find out that Miles wasn't going to go?
When I was getting ready to do my little warm-up before, right before they called the lineups. Halfway thought they weren't going to call my name. I thought he was going to call Deuce, and I was going to have to run out there, honestly. That's how close it was to the lineups.
How does your approach change?
All right, Wally, so Payne, 8 points, 9 assists. The plan was for Jalen Brunson not to play and Deuce McBride to start. McBride tweaks his hammy in warm-ups. Cam Payne finds out at the last second he's starting. What's that like?
You got to be ready, and that's why you have veterans on your team. You could see the difference between young guys that are trying to find their way on the Utah Jazz bench and a guy like Cameron Payne who's absolutely ready to play no matter what role he has to play. He's been in every situation. He started in big-time playoff games back with Phoenix. I mean, he's played in the NBA Finals. Like, he has played in big games, so there's no moment that's too big for him. It's all about his preparation. He goes through his routine. He prepares himself to play, and whatever the coach needs, he is going to answer the bell, and he'll be ready to do it. It was a good performance by him tonight.
What's interesting is he hadn't been playing a lot in the last handful of games.
Doesn't matter.
But my point is he stays ready.
Yeah, doesn't matter. Stays ready. He gets 7 minutes, he gets 20 minutes, he gets 32 minutes. He is ready to play as many minutes as possible. He wants minutes, believe me. He wants to be out there for 48 minutes. That's how every player and competitor is. And tonight he got minutes and he produced.
So Payne with the 8 points and 9 assists. Every other Knicks starter scored in double figures. We'll take a look ahead when we come back. Big back-to-back on the road coming up for the Knicks. We will preview when we come back after this. All right, here's what's ahead. At OKC Friday, OKC 27-5, number 1 team in the West. Then at Chicago Saturday, the Bulls will retire Derrick Rose's number. So that's going to be a huge game for Tom Thibodeau and company. That's Friday and Saturday, and the Knicks are back home for 3 next week. OKC, in fact, will be in town a week from Friday after the Knicks are at OKC this Friday. We'll wrap things up when we come back after this. All right, continuing here on the postgame show as the Knicks beat the Jazz. Friday, the Knicks are at OKC. OKC is number 1 in the West. They've won 12 out of 13. Knicks, of course, have won 9 straight. But keep in mind, tomorrow night, OKC is home to the Clippers. So Friday night will be, for them, a second of a back-to-back.
Yeah, that's a good thing for the Knicks. Yeah, this is a big-time showdown. This is a big test. This Oklahoma City team is by far the best in the West, and they're favorites to come out of the West and possibly win a championship if they do come out of the West. So this is a good barometer for the Knicks. Remember, Isaiah Hartenstein, an old friend, going up against Karl Anthony Towns. It's going to be a fun matchup to watch.
Hartenstein missed a lot of the early season with a hand injury, but since his return, he's been very effective for OKC. They are 27-5. So we are excited for that as the Knicks open up the new year, beating the Jazz 119-103. Friday night is next at OKC to take on the Thunder. Pregame at 7:30, game at 8. You can also stream our coverage on MSG Plus, now on the Gotham Sports app. Want more than just a post-game show? Link your eligible TV subscription to stream Knicks games free or subscribe today in the Gotham Sports app. Just go to gothamsports.tv to learn more.